welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival and another brilliant, beautiful, soon-to-be blinding sunrise on wonderful, peaceful garden planet Akua. Yeah, how about that? Alright, yeah. It's a beautiful sunrise, but the lens flare and the glare gets to be a bit much. Okay, anyway. Since the trip to the Talon village, I did go back to make sure that I had gotten everything. And trust me, I got everything. I got everything that wasn't made of wood or concrete. Even the fence railings around the side of the place. And mostly what I've been doing since then is, aside from tending my garden, is I've been working on a tunnel going deep into the mountain. Now, there is something I want to take care of first. You see, the one thing that's always kind of bugged me is that this is the core of the base right here. If this is destroyed, the base stops working completely. Let's see. Multi-tool. I think there is something I can do about that. I've seen people do this. So you take the multi-tool and you remove the core. Naturally, of course, the base shuts down. I'm going to drop a piece of iron in there. And fix that up. Now I'm going to head back this way. Onto the concrete that I've been using to pave this tunnel with. I'm going to break a block out here. And I've made a new core. Drop it in here. Base comes back on, and the core is somewhat more protected. Now I end up doing something like putting more concrete over the top of that, like for example, yeah, something like that, and maybe more concrete surrounding, so on. I'm not sure yet, but the purpose of this tunnel, which I spent a good deal of time digging and coming way the heck over this way, which is in a place deep under the mountain. This here, eventually, right here, is going to be opening into a hangar, which is going to take a certain amount of hollowing out, yes. And here's the opening of the hangar, out this way. And if I switch to the drone, you can see here the beginning of the hangar carved into, actually opening out of the mountainside that I originally described all the way back in the beginning. This is the kind of vision that I had. Now, there is a little bit of difficulty. One thing that I didn't think about when I was talking about building that was the issue of structural integrity. Basically, like for example on that pillar over there, I could put up to 12 blocks coming out from it. Try to put one more and they will collapse. Now if I hold N and click here to show structural integrity, the items that are green have full structural integrity. They have support from the ground up. Now let me switch to the drone here. And place some more concrete blocks here. So there's 1, 2, 3. You can see the shade is becoming less and less of the brilliant electric green the rest of it is. So, how many is that? Okay. Oh, come on, drone. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It falls. Those materials are lost. And yeah. So, and the 12th one is the one that fell, not the 13th, which is what I was expecting. As I recall it being said, you get 12 blocks. So, how am I going to make an opening wide enough? I'm thinking I want an opening that is going to be, well, as wide as possible. So, all right, I'm going to go over here so that I will be closer to my drone. And actually, what I need to do is identify a spot in the middle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right there. Now I go 11 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And on the 12th block, bang. Now I'm going to try something with the symmetry mode building and see if that'll work. Alright, drone. I gotta build this one to be as tall as that one. I believe it's 24 blocks. A little higher. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now there's a spot down here between them. Hold N again, and here I'm going to set up a symmetry plane. Let's turn off the structural integrity thing for the moment. All right. Okay. What? All right. Maybe it doesn't work with the drone. I don't know. All right. Symmetry plane. I'm not seeing anything here. All right. I think I've got it figured out here. I had it partly right. I got a block here, and that's where I want the symmetry plane to be. So I click and hold, then I hit N and select the symmetry mode that I want, and nothing happened. Click and hold, hit N. Okay, that's not the symmetry plane I want. How about XY? Definitely not. XZ. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, now for the drone. Get over here where it won't get too far away from me. And the idea here is anything I do there should be mirrored over there. Let me see the structural integrity here. You see it's getting pretty slim right there. Can I put one in the middle to join the two? All right. Of course, I actually want this one to be as high as that one, which I seriously thought it was. All right, let's try this one more time. Going from here, dragging it out, let go, drag this out. All right. I wouldn't want anything, you know, I don't know if structural integrity has anything to do with how much punishment something could take, But, yeah. Alright, let's turn that off. But it looks to me like I should have no problem building a fairly wide doorway that from here will go this way into the mountain. And yeah, the support come for the ceiling part coming from the vertical on either side, which will also have to go in there. All right, let's get rid of this for right now. I don't need it right now, but that gives me what I need to do to work with to get this thing going. And I'm going to be continuing to work on this off camera until I get the hangar that I want built, and then we'll see about building something in that hangar. In the meantime, however, I wish to make a return trip to the moon. This time, the objective will be to avoid enemy bases of whatever description. Digital. And oh, yeah, by the way, this little goober right here, the laser pistol. I figured that since it didn't use magnesium in its ammunition, it would probably be fairly useful. However, there is one little flaw with it. That is as fast as you can fire it. I mean, I'm clicking as fast as I can, but that's as far as fast as it'll fire. I'm not sure how useful that will be. I don't know, perhaps it can be very useful. I really don't know. But I'm not going to mess around with it right now. I'm just gonna... There. I'm just gonna stuff it up in there along with its ammunition and leave it go. It's... Wait a minute. Take my coffee away from me. Alright, yeah, there we go. So, I'm just going to actually kind of rely on the fact that my plan involves not getting into enemy combat. Instead, it involves where did I put it? Filler and flatten tool? No. I'm looking. Tech 2 drill. Where the heck? Did I put the Tech 2 drill away? That would be incredibly not wonderfully smart, because that's the tool I intend on using. Yeah, there it is. Alright. And now to the broken tooth. Power up. Was there anything? Nah, I'm fine. Yeah. Alright. So, thruster's active. And let's go. The old straight up maneuver. And, unless something interesting happens, I will cut to moon arrival. Oh boy. You ever have one of those days? Yeah, well, here I am, just realizing that when I thought I was recording, I wasn't. And I had gotten to the moon and took out a rocket drone, sat down practically almost on top of a neodymium deposit, started mining, and then realized what you see now on my food bar. The word food is yellow, and the food bar is very, very low. And guess who forgot to pack a lunch of all the most ridiculous things in the world? Yeah. So I'm here I am, hightailing it back to Akua, really quick like, hoping I can get back to base in time to prevent starving. Because starving to death would be a really, really stupid way to die. But I'm close to it. Alright, now. Okay, I'm heading in the general right direction. In fact, there's the base. Alright. So I'm going to set down. I'm going to tend to my food needs, as in for right now, and packing lunch, and then I'm going to make a return trip to the moon and mine that neodymium deposit I found. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Neodymium deposit. I'm not sure, but I think that's the one. Let's see. That's Ghost Rider. We don't want to go there. Neodymium deposit right there. And here is a silicon deposit. This white thing is what interests me. Survival constructor. Do tell. So I'm going to head in that general direction out of pure curiosity as to why there would be a survival constructor on the moon. I certainly didn't put one there. Alright, let's level out. Oh, minigun drones. Let's get rid of the drones. Anybody else want a party? Easiest way to make sure the thing isn't going to just float away on me. Alright, now. Where was that survival constructor? Off that way. Yes, the blue crystals. There it is. I see it on the mini-map. Heading for it. The sun is trying to peek through. Alright. Thrusters off. Get out of the bloody third person. Where is this survival constructor? It showed up on the map. Or whatever it is. I see nothing that looks like such a constructor. I see the small vessel now. Oh well. That's the stuff I'm after. And that's where I'm going. I just thought it really curious that such a constructor would show up here on the moon. Anywhere. I may take another look around later, but for right now, I'm after this stuff. And when it gets dark around here, it gets dark. I'm not even sure if this is the same deposit I was at last time. I don't see any visible indication of digging. And I did start to dig. I'm going to make myself seasick with all of this. Okay. That's where I was digging before. Alright. Thrusters off. Lights off. Okay, lights on. Leap. Yeah, lights on. Get some kind of clue here, will you? Alright. Okay, 12.3 meters. Just dig through. I started picking up ore. Okay, that would be this brown vein stuff. Okay, good. Alright. I am going to mine for as long as my fuel packs and my oxygen and food last. Alright. I got a good bunch of ore. There's 626, and that's the second load because I already came back up once and loaded a bunch of it into the ship's onboard constructor and had it start getting refined, which is what I'm going to do with this small constructor and access, and just start making ingots, because those ingots are how I get to make advanced CPUs. Alright, now while that's doing that, off to the right, or the northwest, just outside the circle of the mini-map is where that survival constructor shows up. I want to go over there and see if I can spot it. It's probably a not great idea, but the only survival constructor I know about in this game is the one that I own, which is firmly planted on the beach out in front of my base on Akua. And so, oh, come on with the stamina. There. No. Stones. I gotta admit, it kind of looked like one for a second from a little ways out. These stones almost look like dead slugs or something. It's weird. But right here where I'm standing, there should be a survival constructor according to the mini-map. And it should, from where I'm standing, it should be close enough to see, even in this pathetic light. Weird. Never heard anything quite like that before. Anyway, I'm heading back to the Broken Tooth, and from there, I'm heading back to Akua, because we have business with advanced processors. Okay, thrusters off. Lights off. And let's get into the constructor. And yeah, took a few hits. Have to do some repairs. Just let that keep going. On re-entry, I managed to swing by a base that didn't appreciate me approaching so close, but pop that in there. Now I start making a mess of advanced CPUs, and that opens up. Let's see. Here we go. Some of these, no, it doesn't get me that one and that one because they need power coils, the pulse laser and the rocket launcher for CVs. But it does get me into a whole lot of things here that most of which are requiring, as you can see here, most of these things are requiring advanced CPUs. And I can now make as many of them as I could eat. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a whole mess of advanced CPUs, and I'm going to start making stuff toward building what I'm going to think of as an intermediate capital vessel. This vehicle will be something that's going to be big enough to carry the broken tooth on a landing deck, and it's going to have enough guns of various forms, turrets and whatnot, on it, that it should be able to take care of whatever drones are in an area, and maybe make it easier to take out the cannons and whatnot on those drone bases and such, not only on the moon, but here on Akua as well. Hello. Meet my defense system. Yeah. Reload. Always reload between encounters. Now, where did it come down? There it is. Well, that'll teach you. Alright, so, yeah, you see, that turret has proven itself to be very worthwhile. Very worth having. And I think a ship with turrets on it would be quite worthwhile and worth having, especially if the hull of the ship is made of combat steel. Oh yeah. So I'm going to get working on all of the grindy background bits of that and see if I can come up with a design that doesn't look totally horrible. Or if it does look horrible, let it look horrible in a menacing sort of way. Yeah. In any event, I'm going to get working on that, and we'll see if I come up with anything useful or good, or at least cool looking, in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.